welcome back to this week's Global Business Boost. Have you ever wanted more surplus in your life, more abundance, more wealth? Well, this is the perfect week for you to jump on board, because that's exactly what we're going to be dealing with. Today's aspect, which is surplus, having more than we need, which is the aspect of week 7's life path balance that we're using here on the Global Business Boost. So the card that's coming up, or the card that I'm using for this aspect, which I've dowsed for, you can't really see it that well here with the light shining on it, is the rainbow card. Now, the rainbow card can be used for a lot of things, but on personal healing in the body, it's got a lot to do with structural alignment, spinals correction, but also got to do with pain management. So maybe today is something about structure in your life, pain management. So let's take the journey in. The story this week has 3 words. The first word is delayed. So this is all these words are connected to surplus. So back to the first word, delayed. What could that be connected to surplus? Are you delaying being abundant? You're delaying having more than enough? Second word is showy. So that might be something about showing off, or too showy, or not showy enough. Maybe you're not getting yourself out there in some way or another. Third word, trigger. Love that. We all get triggered by things in our lives, by people, by circumstances. So feel into the story there. Delayed, showy, trigger. Maybe there's an emotional trigger. Maybe fear kicks in when something is triggered. But maybe this ignites something else. Maybe you showing off or stepping back out of the limelight, not showing yourself off at all. So just feel into those words quickly and find a story that's relevant for you. Delayed, showy, trigger. There is a more information, which is a life field, which just adds context to the story so you understand where these words are contextualized in your life, and that is under the banner of opportunities. So under opportunities, delayed, showy, and trigger. Connect that story for you. For me, I relate to delaying abundance and having surplus in my life, or even taking those opportunities in life that could bring about abundance, because I personally, it's a personal story, but a strong role model in my life showed off their wealth, and I felt it that was quite disingenuous, a little bit distasteful, but this was only my perception of it, right? And that triggered me. It made me feel something which I didn't like. So what is your story? Connect these words with opportunities. And you can pause this video here if you want to go deeper into the story and really get to detail with it. I'd recommend that. And when you've done that, there's also a dimension that's coming into play. And this is just extra information to help you not only contextualize, but reference where this story might be connected to or coming from. And what's coming up today is karma. So maybe there's a karmic connection to the situation, the story that's playing out, or maybe the karmic connection is to a person in the story, which is relevant in my case. So feel and connect your story to some kind of karmic link, and then feel that story in your body emotionally. How does it sit with you? How does it feel, that story? For me, thinking about that outward showiness of wealth and abundance made me feel a little embarrassed. I can feel like an internal cringe happening inside my upper stomach area, solar plexus. Feel what comes up for you. What emotion is triggered? And where in your body do you feel it most predominantly? Where do you feel an amplified sensation? And just rest your attention there, feeling that energetic resonance, feeling that emotion, just allowing it to be there. In this modality of life alignment, which I'm using now, it's to help us clear through emotional blocks and walls that we've created in our lives haphazardly or accidentally, so that we can clear those and live the truest versions of ourselves possible. And there's a saying, you have to feel it to heal it. So in order to clear this emotional resonance, feel it now. Whatever that story is, go there, connect with it, feel it, sense it in your body. Where do you feel those sensations? What do they feel like? Mine's a tightness, like a closing in, like cringe. Feel that now. And just take as long as you need. If you need to pause this video now, do so. Really go into the depths of the feeling. This is the most critical step. Now that you've felt the emotion of your story, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So you're welcome to keep your eyes closed or just relaxing your mind. Just take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, how did I contribute personally to making this situation a reality in my life? So whether it's around taking opportunities or abundance, surplus in your life, how did you contribute to that reality? Connect with that. And then once you've done that, can you forgive yourself for that reality that you've created? And take responsibility for that which is showing up in your life. And if you can take responsibility, what choice can you make in your life to take that full responsibility? So maybe it's something you need to do or say or be or enact. Connect with that now. The next question is, what lesson is coming up for you here? What is the lesson to learn in the situation or the experience? And my lesson is that it's not my role model's way of showing their abundance. It doesn't necessarily have to be mine. What is your lesson to learn that's the situation is showing you? Take some time here. It might not be obvious to see initially, but just close your eyes and connect with the story and ask yourself the question internally, what is my soul trying to teach me through this? And once you've got clarity on that, and pause if you haven't, what is the new choice based on this lesson that you would like to bring into manifestation in your life now? So you can connect this with the choice that we made earlier about taking responsibility, or it might be something quite separate. And I'll give you the root of this. Just start the sentence with I choose now to, and then fill in the blank. And for me, it's I choose now to accept wealth into my life graciously. And there's another little caveat here. When you're saying and repeating the statement to yourself, it needs to be repeated 3 times. We've got to do something physical. So it's either banging on your chest, or maybe it's tapping if you know a tapping method, or it could be stamping your feet every time you make your choice statement over and over again. So it could be I accept wealth into my life graciously, something like that. Make your own action, your own physical representation that feels right for you. So whether it's stamping, jumping up and down, slapping your hands, whatever feels relevant for you, but it needs to be reinforced by some level of action. or some physical connection to that statement. And when you're saying your statement, really feel the resonance of that statement. How does it make you feel when you're repeating it 3 times, doing whatever physical movement you're doing? You can pause now to say your statement 3 times with some strong action. Great. Now that we've got that out of our system, the next question is to receive a symbol connected to that statement. That statement is showing you a symbol right now if you're open to receive it. So close your eyes and just allow the first thing to pop into your mind. And just feel whatever comes up. For me, it's a sun, a repeating theme. And notice that symbol. How does it make you feel when you connect with it? For me, the sun feels generous, it feels open, it feels giving. There's an outward movement towards it. What is your symbol and how does it make you feel? And once you've connected with that, connected to that body point that you felt the amplified sensation of that emotion of your story, and bring it into that space. So for me, it was solar plexus. Bring that sun and how it made you feel, that openness, whatever feeling you felt, and bring it into that area in your body. And just notice. And notice if there's any change in your emotional state. Notice if there's any change in your physical state. Just feel whatever's there. And use the symbol as a reminder. Every time you feel that old emotional trigger, remember that symbol. So for me, it was that embarrassment, that cringe. My job is to remember the sun. Feel the energy of the sun, that openness, that warmth, that generosity of giving. So feel what your symbol is trying to get you to remember, and anchor that. Make a link for yourself so that you do remember next time you're triggered. Well done. Balance complete. Integration homework for the week is naturopathy. I didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. And it doesn't seem to be about going to see a naturopath. It's almost about nature therapy, being in nature, immersing yourself in nature. So the idea is to take yourself out into nature for 1 hour this week and just be there without having an objective, running, walking. So just sitting in nature and observing what's around you and just being, just allowing yourself to hang out there in nature without having any goals or destinations in mind. Great. Thanks for joining our Global Business Boost this week, and I'll see you next week. And it's our last aspect that we're dealing with in our life path, and it's the relationship with self. It's almost the cherry on top. Relationship with self. I'll see you next week.